I just said, Greg, as much as I love you and I want the interview, I am kind of glad you called back because Jason will tell you I was kind of freaking out like, oh, my God, is this an omen?
No, I mean, it's a new wave of football.
Oh, you're perfect.
I've already had 3 downs. Right? We're not punting on 3rd down.
Dan Campbell.
After we failed on 3rd, we're going to go for it on 4th down. We're going to try this one more time.
Crystal clear right now.
Crystal
which
clear.
I think is a big. I think Andy Reid, how aggressive will he be on 4th down in this game is going to be big. I apologize. Should I have gotten off the Wi-Fi and just done it with the cell?
You're perfect.
Maybe,
I don't know why I'm in the media capital of the world here at Media Row at the Super Bowl. I can't talk on a phone line. I've been doing it all week. So
no, you're
anyway.
perfect.
How you guys feeling, Dave? You sound nervous. You're always
He's nervous.
I'm always
He's a
nervous.
wreck.
Just Greg, like I said, I grew up and I was like 4 years old when they won the first Super Bowl, and then the first part of my life it was like, well, every other year we win a Super Bowl, it's cool. And little did young Carmichael Dave know that he'd get married, have a couple of kids in high school, all the things that have happened, graduate high school me since the last time they won a Super Bowl, and here we are now. I'm freaking out a little.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing, I wish Baltimore would have won, to be honest with you. I'd rather play those guys.
Right.
It is Mahomes. He's great. They got a great defense. They got the best running game he's had. But the Niners are good. They got to play better than they've played. So what I like to do is just visualize, can the Niners beat them? Is there a way to beat them? And hell yeah. Just go back and watch Super Bowl 54. See how much the Niners defense frustrated Mahomes. He threw 2 interceptions. He only had 10 points midway through the 4th quarter with 7:13 to play. And he was grounding the ball. He was throwing the ball nose down and the ground on slants. I was like, what's wrong with Mahomes? I think he was a little nervous early in the game, and then the Niners defense confused him. So watch that game. And then with 7 minutes and 13 seconds to play in the game, turn it off. Don't watch it ever again. And then you can visualize how we can beat them.
Well,
You're feeling better already because the call is clear now.
I am feeling better because the call is clear. The voice of the Niners the voice of the Niners getting sacked by Pacific Bell is not something you want. So I'm already feeling good there. And Greg, what I have been saying all week is this. I think if we get the Lions or the Packers 49ers, might be in a lot of trouble.
At least first half.
Yeah. If we get the Cowboys, Eagles, Jacksonville Jaguars coming off a 3-loss and a bye, if we get that 49er team, I think it could be something to see.
Yeah, I get that, but I also look at the opponents.
Yeah,
and I look at with the way they were playing, and Green Bay came in hot, and Detroit came in hot, and they got rhythm. There's a week off between the championship game and this game, so what I hope we get is the Christmas Day, not the Christmas Day Niners, but the Christmas Day Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
You put that tape on, and they can't get a line properly. They're so off. The offense is just not functioning. It was like the first day of training camp. What's wrong with them? They had back-to-back plays where they fumbled a handoff. Pacheco took a direct snap, tried to give it to Mahomes, fumbled the ball. The Raiders scooped and scored. And the next play, Mahomes threw a pick 6. They got so frustrated. Kelsey was throwing his helmet, and Andy Reid wouldn't let him find the helmet. It was wild. When you watch that, you're like, you know what this Kansas City team reminds me of a little bit, and it's right. It scares me. Remember Brady's team in Tampa in the pandemic year of 2020? They were 7-5 at one point. Remember how Brady was yelling at everybody, and there was a lot of frustration. And that team, what are they going to do this year? They didn't lose again. They ran the table. And after Kansas City had that Christmas Day meltdown against the Raiders, they haven't lost again. So they're definitely tight in the way they play. They're not as explosive as they were before with Tyreek Hill, but they're going to run jet sweeps and jet passes at Nick Bosa's side and attack Chase Young on the pin and pull and the toss crack and all that. They're a good team. The Niners are a good team. You're right, though. They got to tighten up their game. They can't get down 24/7. Well, hell, they can. Teams come back. It's a long game. And even if you get ahead of them 24/7 or 20-10 with 7 minutes and 13 seconds to play, you got to kill that guy. He's a cockroach. So let's just hope Brock settles in early in the game. I know they have a good plan. and let's just let it rip one way or the other. It's going to be a hell of a game.
Yeah, Greg, I told Dave earlier, I kind of like the fact that, I mean, going into the year, everybody was praising the Niners defense. I love what they've got. They've spent a lot of money there. We know what their potential is, and they haven't had the two best games in the playoffs, though they got the stops that they needed when they needed them. I kind of like that they've been called out a little bit and signaled out. I anticipate that the defense is going to have a really good game.
Yeah, I'm hearing they had a little meeting over at the team hotel in Henderson on Monday night where they had a little bit of a coming to Jesus meeting, and they laid it out that I think a lot of them, and I did it too, when you go back and watch Super Bowl 54, and I wasn't going to do it because it really doesn't pertain to this game, but it's Andy against Kyle, and Spags is still there. Salah ran the defense. Now it's Wilkes. Some of the players are similar. How they're going to play Kelsey and Mahomes. But, he was so young then. But anyway, I did watch it, and I was just, wow. Was the Niner defense great then? Just great. The way, and they played the same play, the cover 3 call. They never got out of it. But they were so tight. They widened out their zone. Whenever Kansas City would motion out, they just, bumped it out with Fred and Dre, and they made them check it down in the kill zone, and they killed it. They were just all over the place, fast, confusing. And then they got beat on that one cover 3 beater on 2-3 chip jet wasp, and they lost the game. So this defense, that's a little bit what concerns me. And I know Kansas City is not as explosive as they used to be, but they got speed. Marquez Valdez-Scantling's one of the fastest players in football. McCole Hardman is as well. Somehow he got in the doghouse. I don't know if they'll play him and give him the ball ever since he fumbled twice against Buffalo, and one time going into the end zone and through the end zone for a touchback. Since that fumble, he's not touched the ball since. Will they play Sky Moore in this game? Kadarius Toney, will he have a role? It's Kelsey, it's Pacheco, and a little Edwards-Helaire. Their O-line is just so-so. Joe Tooney not playing at left guard. Nick Allegretti will play there. He's not the same player. Their center and their right guard are really good. Their tackles. I mean, if you want to pick a defensive MVP in this game, Nick Bosa needs to have a dominant game. He needs to shore up anything they got behind him and obviously set the edge in the run game. But their two tackles, Taylor and Smith, Taylor's committed more penalties than anybody on offense in the league in 20 years. And Donovan Smith is a guy we know from Tampa Bay who's, Nick usually dominates. So, can Nick have a big game and have a couple of sacks when you beat these great players? Like how did Tampa Bay beat Mahomes in Super Bowl 55 the year after we played him? He was flat on his back the entire game. And he made some incredible throws literally from his back. But, if Nick can get him down and get him horizontal in this game. So there's some areas to attack. This is a really good Chiefs team. They're well coached. Obviously, offense, defense, special teams, 3 veteran coaches they have. And they got Mahomes, they got the defense, they got the running game. But there are areas the Niners can attack. And these are the Niners, after all. But, for most of the year, they were the best team in football.
Last thing, Greg, because I know you got an interview coming up. Speaking of motivation and these guys getting ready to play, did you, and I mean, this is such a vet move, did you, when you pulled that fire alarm, were you thinking of escape routes at the time?
Man, I wasn't actually there. I got 2 hotels. I got 2 sweet hotels.
Look at you.
One at the Luxor, which is the weirdest hotel ever. Apparently, it's haunted by ghosts.
And shaped like a Dorito, apparently, too. It's
it's a Dorito on the outside, and it's got slanted ceilings. It's like every time I walk in the room, I'm looking for Rick James and Super Freak. What's going on in this room? I feel dirtier after I shower in this room. I got to get out of there. And then I don't know how I lucked into a suite at the in Henderson with the team, but it is fabulous. I can't wait to wake up tomorrow morning, get ready for the game there. It's like an operating room. It's just so much space. It's so bright. Sometimes you go into these hotels and it's all dark and boutique hotels. You can't see anything. So now I heard about the fire alarm. Do the guys actually spill into the lobby or do they just stay in their rooms? How do you? Well, a lot of times when you're in a hotel, and a fire alarm goes off. What Warriors? We had that happen in LA years ago. Yeah, and they made us evacuate the room, and that was quite the scene to see NBA players forced out of their room at 3:00 in the morning and see who exactly was down, coming to the lobby with them. It was pretty amazing.
There were a lot of things a lot of different ways that different guys reacted different ways. I'll read you the quote here, Greg. It says, George Kittle jumped out of bed, walked into his bathroom, closed the door, and waited there for the next 18 minutes. Now, I'm reading that as something different than George Kittle did, and he wasn't exactly that freaked out about the fire alarm, but apparently McCaffrey and Bosa were pretty pissed off.
Yeah, what time of night was this? You don't want to wake up in the middle of that. Those guys are big on sleep.
It was 6:03 in the morning, 7 minutes before Kittle's 6:10 a.m. alarm went off.
Oh, that's like 6:03. They're usually up at that time.
Yeah.
You don't want it at like 3:03. That'd be the worst time, or 4:03.
All right.
Kyle was already on his second cup of coffee by then. And maybe based on Monday night, he had a Bailey's coffee.
Yeah, really.
Okay, then. Look, we're all going to be with you in that booth, man. Have a great call, you and your partner. And win or lose, obviously, we'll have our bye-bye call next week. But hopefully we're making plans to see each other at the parade.
So this is our sign. We had 3 downs, didn't go well.
Yeah.
We had to go for it on 4th down.
But we converted.
And we picked a winner.
You did.
I saw Jake Moody the other day, and I did the whole call. So my room at the hotel in Henderson is room 2421. So the scenario is 21 all, 3 seconds to go, 48-yard field goal for Jake Moody to win the Super Bowl.
Oh my
you like that?
Oh,
24-21 Niners.
Feels great, baby.
Feeling it?
Feels great.
4th down.
Jake.
Get it on 4th down.
Moody's on fire. Let's go. I hope you're right, brother.
Converted on 4th down. I got this done.
There you go.
Thank you.
Are we doing a show next week after the parade, or what are we doing?
Yes.
Absolutely.
We have to have our bye-bye show. Absolutely. If you're up for it.
All right. I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. Good luck. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
See you, bro.
Thank you.
Bye.
Feels better than that way. Feels right.
Feels great, baby. All right.
You good?
You know, I think we're ready.
Okay.
I think we're ready. I think we're ready. All right, we'll take a break. We have Kings news. The Sacramento Kings are converting two-way guard Keon Ellis on a new 3-year NBA contract, according to his agent, Adrian Wojnarowski and Shams Charania. In addition to his playing duties, he will also be the official spokesman for the team. This guy's
wow.
Sorry, I had to do it.
Something's really wrong with you.
What if that was the thing? We'll give you a 4-year